Hello! A new video is in the works, a critical analysis of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And as you can probably tell from the title of this video, it's quite the positive analysis. Once completed, the video will go up as planned, but it's taking longer to put together than I originally estimated. A lot longer. So, I've decided to release the video in sections. This will provide my viewers with content, will hopefully keep the channel alive during the editing process, and will prime everyone as to what to expect from the full video prior to release. Keep in mind that these were meant to be part of a single whole, so there will be incomplete analyses and a lack of conclusions in some parts. Once the full video is out, there will be follow-up videos inspired by it, including another Godzilla vs. Kong analysis. Yay! And one last thing. This introduction will be at the start of each video, so if you want to skip it next time, slide on over to this time here. Right, all that said, I hope you enjoy this section of what will become Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a great joy. And so we awaken with Mark into chaos. The members of Monarch struggle to understand what is happening.
She pulled that trigger.
All due respect, Colonel, you saw wrong.
Maybe Jonah forced her, right? Maybe use Madison as leverage.
As Cerazara deals with the death of his friend. Remember this, we'll be coming back to it in a moment. A hop, skip and a jump in time and distance later, Monarch arrives at Outpost 56, where they think Emma and the eco-terrorists are going. FYI, 1956 was the year Rodan was released. I'm sure there's no connection there whatsoever. Mark makes a point of complaining about possible civilian casualties, only to be told that Monarch is already on the case. By G-Team no less. I wonder if they know G-Force. No, not that one. This one. Then the Monarch team receives a call. This scene is one of the defining points in this film and provides a lot of reasoning for everything that has happened and will happen in this film. I would like to play this whole speech, but copyright is a thing, so we'll break it down and go through it bit by bit. We know by now that Emma's son Andrew died during the San Francisco fight between Godzilla and the Mutos. Most people would probably stop at the Titans being the cause.
Thousands gathered in the Bay Area last night, part of a wave of memorials and protests demanding Monarch be held accountable.
But we still haven't heard one good reason why these creatures shouldn't be exterminated.
I advise you to kill these things, all of them, especially him.
But Emma dug deeper, going beyond the fighting in the city.
After we lost Andrew, I swore his death would not be in vain. But as I dug deeper, I realized that they were here for a reason.
Godzilla was awoken from a centuries-long slumber by nuclear-powered submarines, diving deeper into the sea than they ever had before. Godzilla rose from these depths to put down the Mutos, parasitic monsters that found themselves in a world they shouldn't have been in, a world without competition from other giant creatures. As an egg, the female Muto was dumped with other nuclear waste, out of sight and out of mind, given her opportunity to feed and grow unmolested. The male Muto was allowed to feed on the remains of a nuclear power plant that kept running despite many warnings to potential danger. Both Mutos were discovered and released from their centuries or possibly even millennia-long imprisonment underground by a strip mining operation that valued profit over safety. And all these titans, Goji and Mutos both, were lured to San Francisco with nuclear weapons by the military in a short-sighted and failed attempt to kill them. Given what we learn later in this film, if the military's plan had worked, the results would have been counterproductive to say the least. All of the events leading up to the destruction of the city were down to human meddling, greed, oversight, and many other faults. With Mark wallowing in self-pity and loathing, Emma was left alone to sink deeper and deeper into her own thoughts.
Humans have been the dominant species for thousands of years, and look what's happened. Overpopulation,
War, pollution, and we are the cause. We are the infection. The human infection will only continue to spread. Our planet will perish, and so will we.
unless we restore balance.
Just like how a forest fire replenishes the soil, we have seen signs that these creatures will do the same. They are the only thing that can reverse the destruction that we started. But for that to happen, we must set them free.
Emma Russell is the perfect storm of circumstance. She is a mother who has lost one child and does not want to lose another. She works, or by this point used to work, for a government department that locates and incarcerates giant monsters, a department that encouraged research into controlling them. This government department hires people not only on their scientific prowess, but seemingly on the strength of their beliefs as well.
Admiral, we must keep our faith in Godzilla.
Dr. Brooks was right. It's a hollow earth. That's how he moves around so fast.
神话是我们的指南针. Myth is our compass. Something my mom used to say. She believed our stories about monsters and dragons could help us restore our connection to nature.
A sort of symbiotic relationship, if you will. Like the lion and the mouse.
Emma is almost certainly the same way, if not when hired, then by osmosis, especially after working with Serizawa for so long.
Godzilla may be the answer. I believe he's here to restore balance.
They're part of the Earth's natural defense system, a way to protect the planet, to maintain its balance.
The arrogance of man is thinking nature is in our control, and not the other way around. Let them fight.
They are the only thing that can reverse the destruction that we started. But for that to happen, we must set them free.
Admiral, we must keep our faith in Godzilla.
We will return to a natural order where we coexisted in balance with the Titans, the first gods.
How many of these things are there?
17.
17? Why don't you kill them?
Emma and I believe some are benevolent.
Don't kid yourself.
As much as Emma is Serizawa's Dark Mirror, she is also Mark's antithesis. He is the negative reinforcement she needed to push on with her mindset. Because of her stolid attitude in comparison to Mark, and her enthusiasm in her research, Emma gave Madison a far better role model to look up to, giving Emma much needed positive feedback along the path she was going down, even if that positivity was misplaced. All of these thoughts, these conclusions may have come to nothing if but for two things. It wouldn't have taken much prodding or poking to discover people's opinions on the Titans or the possibility of letting them run riot.
You are meddling with forces beyond our comprehension, gambling with the lives of billions.
And what's gonna be left? Dead, charred world overrun by monsters?
You are murdering the world.
And Monarch, as much as it had grown over the years, was being challenged by the government.
Monarch was tasked with finding and destroying these radioactive monsters. Maybe it's time for the military to put them down.
Monarch is broken. It's on the verge of being shut down by a government whose only objective is to eradicate the creatures.
In the face of such resistance, Emma sought other, more enthusiastic hands to carry out her plan. All these events and circumstances came together to put Emma where she is now, an environmental zealot with the means and the mind to do what she thinks is required to save the world, something few others would be willing to do. And what is her plan exactly? The first step of Emma's plan is to make sure the Orca works once she has finished building it at the behest of Monarch, no less. Upon the birth of Mothra, Emma has the perfect test subject. This is the keystone of her plan, and if the Orca had failed, then there would be no more plan. But Emma knows what she is doing and has perfected her device, so it works. Or at least we think it does. More on that later. Following the success of the Orca, the eco-terrorists quote-unquote kidnap Emma so she can wake up the biggest Titan they know of. The goal? To cause Monarch as much trouble as possible, distracting them whilst the plan unfolds. Again, the perfect storm of circumstance circles Emma as she knows of the perfect Titan, a possible rival to Godzilla, hidden deep in the Antarctic base. With the distraction in place, Emma and her terrorist cohorts go to ground, hiding away and hacking at Monarch outposts from a distance, using the Orca to wake every Titan up, one by one. It's a straightforward plan, one that would have gone off with no problems at all, if not for a certain Big G. Hell, the only reason Monarch knows about it is because Emma told them. Wait, why did she do that? It is possible she wanted to convince them to her side, to help them see that this is the right thing to do, like she does. Or to assure herself that she is doing the right thing, that everyone else is beyond help. Whatever other reasons there might have been, there was one definite reason. After telling Monarch her plan, Emma leaves them with a word of advice: to hide out the coming chaos. Even in the depths of her plans, her apparent obsessions with saving the world, she can't help but think of the safety of those she once called friends.
Christ, she recruited pretty much everyone in this room.
Monarch has prepared bunkers around the world to save and restart civilization. I suggest you find them.
Over with the baddies, and we see they've hacked the systems at Outpost 56, reinforcing the notion they messed with Mothra's containment systems earlier. They are ready to go, ready to enact the final stage of this plan, but despite her speech and her determination in the face of ridicule, Emma Russell is hesitant. This hesitation encourages her daughter to speak up, only to be outspoken by Alan Jonah. With pressure building and, as she sees it, the fate of the world at stake.
We both want to save the planet, but everything is going to die if we don't see it through.
Emma activates the Orca.
I'm sorry, Madison. This is bigger than just you and me.
Thank you for watching this part of Godzilla King of the Monsters, a great joy. Videos will follow on a, hopefully, regular basis until the video is out, so look forward to those. Whilst you're waiting, why not visit my Etsy store and peruse some esoteric pendants, link in the description. Feel free to do all the YouTube stuffs and leave a comment if you have one. Who knows, maybe you'll have an effect on the finished video before it's released. Once again, thank you for watching.